Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtottara Shri Srimad Avaitsarnavrinda His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivam Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Aturjayad Mudirae Nashtabrayestu Avadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloki Bhaktir Bhavati Naistuki Yamsyanubhavam Akhilam Sutisaramekam Adhyatma Deepam Atitir Satam Tamundam Samsarina Karunaya Purana Guyam Tam Vyasasunam Upayami Gurur Maninam Krishna Sudama Pagate Dharma Jnana Divisaha Kalo Nasta Drisame Sam Puranar Kotunoditah. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, the creation of fourth order, chapter 25. The characteristics of King Puranjana, text number 3. Prachena Barisam Chapta Karma Swasakta Manasam Narado Dhyatma Tattvagya Kripalu Pratyabodaya Prachena Barisam Chapta Karma Swasakta Manasam Narado Dhyatma Tattvagya Kripalu Pratyabodaya Prachena Barhesam Chatta Karma Swasakta Manasam Narado Dhyatma Tattvagya Kripalu Pratyabodaya
Prachina Varshesham Shataha
Prachina Varisham Chata
Karma Svasakta Manasam
Karma Swasakta Manasam
Narada Yatma Tashvagya
Narado Dhyatma Tattvagya
Yayo Bhadyat
Kripalu Pratyabodhayat Prachina Varisham Chata Karma Swasakta Manasam Narado Dhyatma Tattvagya Kripalu Prabodhayat Prachina Varisham Chata Karma Swasakta Manasam Narado Dhyatma Tattvagya Kripalu Bodhayat
Prachine Varisham Sakta
Prachina Varisham Chata
Karma Swasakta Manasam
Manasam
Narado Dhyatma Tattvaya Kripalu Pratyabodhayat
Kripalu Pratyabodhayat
Prachina Varisham Chata
Prachina Varisham Chata Karma Swasakta Manasam Narado Dhyatma Tattvagna Kripalu Pratyabodhayat Prachana Varisham unto King Prachana Varisha Chattaha O Vidura Karmasu in fruitive activities Asakta attached Manasam with this mentality Narada the great sage Narada Adhyatma spiritualism Tattvagya one who knows the truth Kripalu being compassionate Pratyabodhayat gave instructions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I was thinking of you and just so came in. Very good. While the, am I reading correct? Okay. While the princes were undergoing severe austerities in the water, their father was performing different types of fruitive activities. At this time, the great Saint Narada, master and teacher of all spiritual life, became very compassionate upon the king and decided to instruct him about spiritual life. Please repeat. While the princes were undergoing severe austerities in the water, their father was performing different types of fruitive activities. At this time, the great Saint Narada, master and teacher of all spiritual life, became very compassionate upon the king and decided to instruct him about spiritual life. Purport. As pointed out by Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya, Kaivalya or merging into the Brahman effulgence is just like going to hell. He simply states that elevation to the upper planetary systems for the enjoyment of heavenly life is just so much phantasmagoria. This means that a devotee does not give any importance to the ultimate goal of the karmis and gyanis. The ultimate goal of the karmis is promotion to the heavenly kingdom, and the ultimate goal of the Gyanis is merging into the Brahman effulgence. Of course, the Gyanis are superior to the Karmis as confirmed by Lord Chaitanya. Koti karma nishtha madhye eka jnani shrestha. One Gyani or impersonalist is better than many thousands of purity actors. C.C. Madhyalila 19:170-47. Therefore, a devotee never enters upon the path of karma or elevation by fruitive activities. Narada Muni took compassion upon King Prachina Barishad when he saw the king engaged in fruitive activities. In comparison to mundane workers, those who are trying to be elevated to the higher planetary systems by performing yajnas are undoubtedly superior. In pure devotional service, however, both karma and jnana are considered bewildering features of the illusory energy. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Vistam Sthapita Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamai Andadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalan Sri Guru Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatapate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rikhavan Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha kalpataru vriksha kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaisnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyabadi Paschatya Desatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. While the princes were undergoing severe austerities in the water, their father was performing different types of fruitive activities. At this time, the great Saint Narada, master and teacher of all spiritual life, became very compassionate upon the king and decided to instruct him about his spiritual life. We can distinctly understand the difference between karma kanda and spiritual life. These two things are different. Narada Muni is pointing out the difference between philosophy propagated by Jaimini Rishi. In the Vedas, there's a special section of karma kanda that instruct every living being who desire to enjoy better quality of life while he is in this material world. The idea is living being, even though they are eternal part and parcel of the Lord, they do not have anything to do with this, all this going on in this material world. Somehow they have displaced from their original position and struggling in this material world for the existence of struggle for existence in this material world because of misplacing ourselves, because of being encased in various kind of bodies. So even while remaining in this material world, forgetting our original identity as eternal part and parcel of Krishna, in order to bring that conditioning state up to the liberated state, Krishna introduced this different kind of karma kanda in Veda, all the Vedas. Because Vedas are coming from God. They are not a creation of mortal being. They are called apauruseya, not coming from any material man, just like a big novel or any kind of literatures, different genres of the literatures. So the idea of karma kanda is to engage people in appropriate work, religious work, abiding by the different rules and regulations, and finally bring nivritti, detachment from that work, and bring to the platform of pure devotional service. That is the whole goal of the karma kanda. But when people are engaged in karma kanda, they simply forget the ultimate goal of performing their kanda karma, and they simply enjoy performing it, and they establish themselves as very prestigious men in the society. They establish themselves as very pious men in the society, and they simply become satisfied and happy in hope to enjoy heavenly life after giving up this body. But Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, a great Vaishnava Acharya, he says that going to or merging into the Brahman effulgence of the Lord or going to heavenly planet is all about just like going to hell. It has no value at all. So the true Vaishnava Acharya like Narada Muni could see the suffering condition of that living being who is aspiring for material enjoyment after this life, so that out of compassion, those Vaishnava saints, great acharyas always like to show their kindness and mercy to the struggling living being. Going to heaven is not the solution to your struggle for existence in this material world. It will not solve your problem of birth, death, old age, and disease. These things still remain the same, even if you are promoted to heavenly planets. You may be living a little longer than on the earthly planet, or you may be enjoying a better than hellish planets, but once your pious activities that you performed here are exhausted, then you have no choice to remain in heavenly planet. In material world, when you go to the best counselor for having some mental issues or stressful life, people suggest 4 different things. 1, to take some intoxication. Try to enjoy some wine, beer, something. It relaxes your mind. You become very happy. It make you forget things, and then you become stress-free. Second way they suggest is go vacation. Take out some time from your busy working life and then go vacation to a good place and refresh yourself. Maybe you go to wherever possible. That's why people keep running around every times, because they are not happy, not satisfied in their life. Another one, they suggest to sleep. Sleeping also gives some relief for temporary stress. Sometimes if we have headache, too much headache, and just take a quick nap, our headache go away. And what else? Other is like sex life and everything, so many things. But question is how long we can sleep, how long we can intoxicate ourselves, how long we can go to vacation, and how long we can engage in sense pleasure activities. These are all temporary. We cannot escape from our normal daily life. You cannot escape. You have to come back again and then continue the same life. So the real satisfaction is only possible with Krishna. That's all. Period. No more argument, no more other options. Satisfaction comes from Krishna. When we connect ourselves to Krishna, when we serve Krishna, the real satisfaction comes. We just heard about the beautiful pastime of Lord Damodar, Mother Yasoda, and Lord Bhismadev during the last month. I was meditating and started reading a lot about Bhismadev, how he was expressing his relationship with Krishna at the time of his death. Even though he was fighting completely to the against Krishna's party. In battlefield, he was completely taking the another side of Krishna and fighting for Kauravas. They were literally enemies to each other in the battlefield. But in the core of his heart, Bhismadev was a great, great, great devotee of Lord Krishna. And Krishna was taking a vow that I will never use any weapon during this war. I will be neutral and I just do the service of a charioteer. Can you imagine the master, the controller, the supreme personality of Godhead, the one who is meditated by all the great yogis, rishis, saints, Brahma, Lord Narada Muni, Shiva, Ganesha, Varuna, all the great, great personalities, they worship and meditate on Sri Krishna. But he himself is simply engaged in the service of his devotees as a charioteer. And he broke the vow just to please his devotees. And Bhismadev also made him to break his vow just to please Krishna by doing so. When they were shooting the arrow, Lord Krishna was bleeding, literally bleeding. But in fact, Krishna cannot be bleeded because his body is not made from this blood, urine, stool, and this. He's a completely transcendental. His body is made out of ananda, pleasure. Only, can you imagine the pleasure thing that whenever we feel pleasure, some very extreme pleasure, yeah, that is what made Krishna's body. But out of Yogamaya's potency, Krishna made it happen like that in order to please his devotees, and devotees also pleasing his master. And at the end of his life, Bhismadev see Krishna in front of him, and he ordered Krishna, please stay before me, do not go anywhere until I pass away from this body. Great, great yogis who meditate for thousands of years just by remembering the Lord. Imagine here, just listen very carefully. Just simply remembering the Lord, all the yogis and dhanis and gyanis, they do meditate and simply remember the Lord. They do not see the Lord face to face. They, even if their meditation, their mind is flying the speed of light, they still cannot even reach up to the toe of the Supreme Lord. But even by performing that deep meditation, just remembering Krishna, all the yogis get liberated. Can you imagine? Somebody who is looking God face to face at the time of death, seeing that beautiful smiling face of Krishna and passing away the body. What would be the destination of that soul? So Bhismadev was telling to Yudhishthira Maharaj, even though there are great, great devotees like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Lord Narada Muni, they know Krishna as Supreme Lord. They know very internal affairs with Krishna. But even more than them, you, Yudhishthira, know Krishna's best because you were living with Krishna. You still understand Krishna as Supreme Lord. And there is nobody who knows Krishna more than you knows. You know. That was the position of Yudhishthira Maharaj. And in the history, there are two personalities who were passing in front of the Lord. One is Haridas Thakur. Remember Haridas Thakur when he was passing? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was placing his lotus feet in the chest of Haridas Thakur and then looking at him. And at the end, Haridas Thakur said, Jai Gaura Hari. And he left his body. And Bhismadev also said, these two great personalities were so much favored by the Lord. And it is explaining that the devotees, when they have personal relationship with the Krishna, they hate this impersonal emerging conditioning. It's like going to hell. It's very pale, it's very painful for the devotees. Very, very painful. So all this understanding, this satisfaction comes when we try to establish Krishna as our friend, as our master, as our teachers. And devotees are pacified and calm and peaceful because they have relationship with Krishna. Otherwise, material people who are looking outside and looking to the bodies, they are always unsatisfied and always disturbed and always fighting and doing so many things. But devotees are focused within internally inside the soul. And they always meditate and chant the name of God, and they are not disturbed. Sometimes we might have some kind of friction here and there, but compared to the other people, or compare to our life before we become Krishna conscious and after we become Krishna conscious, is so much change. Big paradigm shift takes place. It is because of Krishna having in our life. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that all these external disturbances that are coming due to the contact of these senses are temporary. And they are not only temporary, but they are temporary, and then you tolerate them. Then in further slokas, Krishna explains, tolerating is one thing, it is not good thing. Tolerating means you are not in a natural state, you don't like it, but you still tolerate it. You are still disturbed. By force you are tolerating. But it says that give that idea of disturbance at all. Be free from even thinking about being disturbed by external situations. Just become completely detached from all these things. Amrit tattvaya kalpati. those people become very dear to me. Krishna is explaining in Bhagavad Gita. So all this is possible by Bhakti Yoga, is chanting the holy name of God. Mother Yasoda, Prabhupada says that Mother Yasoda does not know that Krishna is God. When Krishna was disturbing and breaking all the pots, wherever he would go, and he would not find butter to steal, because sometimes these gopis were very clever that Krishna might come anytime, and they would keep it very high in the rafter store. Right? They would keep those butters very top in the high ceiling. But then Krishna would be very mad at that, and then he would find somebody, some other boys, and rise on their back, and then he would poke with the stick and then destroy it, or feed to the monkeys and so many things. And the gopis would come and explain or complain to the Mother Yasoda, and even while complaining, they would feel great pleasure. It was not, they were not really complaining that they were losing their yogurt or butter or anything, but they had great pleasure in complaining about Krishna. And when he was tied, Lord Balaram was saying that I will destroy all Brajadham, because my brother is the supreme Lord. He is the controller of everything. Who can tie my Krishna? Because little boys were complaining, saying to Balaram, hey, Krishna is tied by Mother Yasoda. He's running, he's crying. He's so scared, and please help. And then Balaram would come to Mother Yasoda and, Mama, why did you tie the Krishna? Do you know who is he? And she would not, she was make fun of him. Who is he? He is nonsense, nutty boy. He is nothing like you explained. If he is Supreme Lord, then who are you? And then he was also explained, but, oh, I have two gods at my home. This is all nonsense. And she would take a stick and then chase Balaram. That this is the position of Supreme Lord with his devotees. He can go to any extreme in order to please his devotees. That is the best relationship we can establish in Krishna consciousness with Krishna. He is addressing Arjuna throughout in Bhagavad Gita, like what are the name he addressed? Sakhe, like the other name there was no. Because Krishna is trying to let the living beings, so please have your relationship with me. Have your relationship with me. Even though I am equal to all the living beings, I do not envy anyone, I do not favor anyone. For me, everyone is equal. But one who loves me, one who surrenders unto me, or one who expresses love for me, then I take a step ahead, and then I become even more close to that person. I love more. Krishna has proved that, even though Bhishma Dev was fighting against Krishna, but Krishna never thought he was enemy, and he was completely giving him special blessing that Bhishma Dev could forget all the pain that arose when he was wounded in the battlefield. Just by Krishna looking at him, he could forget everything. He was thinking, he was investing his feeling, thinking, and willing in Krishna in such a way that he was completely unaware about his bodily pain at all. That much observed he was in Krishna at the time of death. And he proved that he was not the body. So this is the highest level of meditation on Krishna, that we can completely mitigate all this bodily pain and this and that by simply placing our mind in Krishna's lotus feet. By just making a relationship with Krishna, we can get this biggest favor. Like when some people like each other, they write their name in the tattoo, they make a tattoo of the person. Right? Oh yeah, Brian. Or some picture here. I love my friend, my girlfriend, my boyfriend. And by that, by seeing the tattoo, the person who we make the tattoo of, it feels so happy. Wow, she loves me or he loves me so much. So much so that he made a tattoo for me. And sometimes they undo the tattoo because they break up. That is a different case. But when when a lover gives a flower to beloved, that person does not see the external flowers, but the person sees how much the person loves me. Can you imagine we are placing tilak in our whole bodies in the name of Krishna? Don't we feel that Krishna feel the same way to us? Wow, Damodar Prabhu, Damodar Das, he has marked my names in his body. Divya, Mother Divya is doing the same thing. Every people, how much they love for me so. And then Krishna is, we can imagine how much Krishna is indebted to his devotees. This is the idea. How much Krishna is indebted to his devotees. That's why he says, Napareyam, I cannot repay the love that my devotees have for me. First, we experience this love, and we share this love of God with other people, and we expand this love with other living beings. This is exactly what Narada Muni is trying to do with Prachina Barisad. Prachina Barisad, while his sons are meditating under the water, doing severe austerities. Can you imagine it's the winter time coming when we do not have hot water one morning, then we come and complain, oh, I didn't have hot water in bathroom today. It was such a bad. I was like freezing while taking shower. But they were meditating under the water. But his father was engaged in spiritual activities. He was trying to enjoy his life, try to go to the heavenly planet, get so many results by performing all these ritualistic ceremonies, getting big karma kandas, yajnas, all this wanted to enjoy material life. But Narada Muni could clearly see that this is not going to help you. It is not going to end your material existence by simply promoting to the heavenly planets, by simply enjoying the fruits of your activities. But if you are intelligent, if you are a Brahmana, if you are not a Kripana, you should think about a spiritual life. You should think about Krishna. You should start loving Krishna. So in Vedas it is said that anyone who is not taking Krishna Bhakti, who do not accept the teaching of Vedas, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gitas, even though they are big religionists, they are an atheist. They are atheists. Sri Sri Gaurnitai ki jai. So this secret is only revealed to the devotees. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Never reveal this knowledge to the people who do not believe unto me. Do not force them. This knowledge is revealed to you because you are my best friend and you are my devotees. You are my intimate personality. So This is what I realized after all these years, that we need to establish a personal relationship with Krishna. And then He's always with us. We are always with Him. He's our support system. Krishna should be our support system. Not medication, or not counselors, or not doctors, or not anything, which we can use them, but our real support system should be Krishna. That if something happened to me, I have Krishna with me. Even in worst material situation, I may be, but that still is a mercy of Krishna, and I have Krishna in my life, so why should I worry? That gives us great confidence and assurance in our life that, oh, I have Krishna in my life. At least He will not let me degrade myself down into the different condition, material condition. He will protect me from going that direction, and He will uplift me, and He will bring me home if we have Him as our support system, our ultimate internal friend. That is the benefit of being Krishna conscious, that we can have Him, our support system, our supporting personality at all times. That's why yogis are Atmarama. They do not worry about outside world. They simply remain and enjoy within their heart, because they know that the Lord, even if they are meditating the impersonal Brahman, but they have that great faith that God is with me. What should I fearful of? Why should I be afraid of anything? Avayam Dan. Krishna gives us that fearlessness when we have Him in our life. When we establish personal relationship with Him, He immediately gives us fearlessness. This is very interesting thing. If we have that conviction, if we do have that understanding that Krishna is my support person at the time of difficulties, then we give up these ideas, the idea of being disturbed. When we are too excited in happiness and we're too distressed in some situation, and they both are not good in Krishna consciousness. Both of these are like contaminated state. You are always fixed in your devotion, and you are never disturbed by anything external, because you know that Krishna is with me and I am with Krishna, and Krishna helps me at all times. And this is all done amongst the devotees. This association of devotees, it becomes very beautiful, very self-assuring. We see one devotee is being so happy, we see another devotee being so happy, we see another devotee, oh yeah, everyone is enjoying Krishna consciousness, why not me? This faith is nourished in devotees association. That's why Chaitanya Charitamrita says that the beginning of bhakti, the birth of bhakti is the association of devotees. The birth of Krishna Prema is also because of the association of devotees. And even after that, when you are completely freed, the association of devotees still remain the primary things in devotees' life. So if we have any desires, such desires, then we should give up and try to completely dedicate ourselves in Krishna's lotus feet and the business of repeated birth and death, because we have somehow got this rare opportunity to understand and study and practice Krishna Bhakti by the mercy of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any questions or any comment? Any realization, any sharing?
When Grandfather Bhishma was lying on the bed of arrows before he left his body, he was waiting for Krishna to arrive so he could see him. But wasn't it the length of time? Wasn't it days or like even weeks that he was waiting for Krishna to appear? before he left?
Yeah, actually, Krishna was advising Yudhishthira and all the Pandavas to go and see Bhismadev and learn about the dharma of different administrative functions. Istri dharma, Bhagavat dharma, Varnashram dharma, and then so many dharma in Santi Parva, in Mahabharata, Santi Parva, Bhismadev instructed in the history of modern history, there is no one ever instructed that much big instructions like Bhismadev did in the science of all these religions. So Krishna inspired them to come, and it was Krishna was trying to fulfill the desire of Bhismadev to come before he passed away. It was happening in a short time. And Bhismadev was also remembering how Krishna was struggling in the battlefield. His hair was dusted with the dust, like a whole curly hair was smeared with all the dust, and his face from his cheeks, all the sweats were coming out, and he was looking very fatigued and tired and very worried. And he was just, oh wow, Krishna, that how great you are, even though you are the controller of everything, you always gives best to your devotees, and such a deep understanding and conversation and teachings. And Krishna, nobody can hurt Krishna. Nobody can hurt Krishna. Krishna cannot be hurt by any arrows or bullet or anything. But just for the pleasure of the devotees, he's just performing all these beautiful pastimes. And Bhismadev was waiting the right time, meditating on his lotus feet. It was, after the war was over, short times period. Anything else? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Narad Muni ki jai, Bhismadev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Mahaprasadam ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hare Hare.